8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, unité, top. Image P80 et décollage vv-19. Est nominale. Et sur plantation de Saint-Jean.
What a sight. They are off. Vega streaking across the night sky, lighting up the skies over the spaceport, over the Amazon rainforest. Our passengers have started their journey. Pleiades Neo, Broforce, Sunstorm, Leadsat and Radcube are on their way. It's a huge moment for everybody who's involved. It must be quite something watching your babies lift off from the pad. Getting a great view here. We can still see the launcher 1 minute and 25 seconds after liftoff. We're looking here at the... He's telling us that everything's going according to plan. We were looking back there at the main stage, or the first stage, the P80, the engine of the P80 it's known as, burning. We tucked in behind the clouds for a bit, but we came out again, so we got a great view. This is what it looks like up there in space, with our CGI images giving us a great view. We have confirmation there of separation of the P80, and the Z23 has switched its engine on. We are hurtling through space. Look on the right-hand side of your screen. At the bottom, vitesse is speed. We're traveling at the moment at 2.35678 kilometers, and we're getting faster and faster. We began the dogleg maneuver. We were rising up into space, and then we turned towards the north, heading towards what we call a sun. He said the trajectory is nominal, or normal. Heading towards a sun-synchronous orbit, which means we're virtually going north to south. Good view there of our launcher on the right-hand side. And on the bottom left, you can see that's our trajectory, we call it. It's the planned trajectory. And the white cross is the actual position of the launch vehicle. Take a look at what we call the fairing, the front of the vehicle. You can just about see on the bottom of it a line. That's because the fairing is made of two halves, and it's going to open like a petal when it separates. Now, leaving Earth behind us. Trajectory is nominal. We're climbing. Look at the altitude, bottom right of your screen, 127 kilometers. And climbing. And we have separation there of the Z23 and beginning of the roll motion. Switched the engine on of the Z9, the Z9 engine, and we have separated the fairing. Did you see how it came away? All perfectly planned. We don't need the fairing anymore because we're out of the friction of the atmosphere, so we're effectively in space. We are 149 kilometers high. That means we crossed the threshold into space about 50 kilometers ago. And look at that, you can see our satellite. For the first time, the gold structure on the right-hand side, that is Pleiades Neo. All folded up right now, all nice and neatly packed together, but later, after it's released, it'll unfold its wings, just like a butterfly coming out of its chrysalis. And then to the left of it is the conical structure. That was the payload adapter. Look, you can see where we lifted off. We came from the launch pad at the CSG, the Guiana Space Center in French Guiana on the northeastern coast of South America. The tracking station there is Galileo, and we're heading towards the next tracking station in Bermuda in the Caribbean. And there you get a better view there of the conical payload adapter. And then to the left of that is the big tank burning its fuel. So we're heading towards a sun-synchronous orbit. That means that our satellite will always be in the same fixed position relative to the sun. So that's very useful for Earth observation. Oh wow, look at that. It's really, really interesting watching how these maneuvers happen in space. And these images are the CGI images, which have been very carefully planned, and all the information has been put into the computer and we produce these really sensational graphics. So the sun-synchronous orbit is very useful for satellites which are Earth observation satellites because it allows them to monitor the same place at the same time every day. So for example, our satellite might fly over Paris every day at noon. The launch is operating remotely, and there we go, separation of the final stage there, which means we're now really entering the next phase of our flight. The Z9, the third stage, has been jettisoned, and this means that the propulsion phase of the launch is now over. We've got ourselves away from Earth.